So as I was thinking about what I would talk about for my vlog this week, I got a little bit upset. And the reason for that is because I was in a really comfortable position, right? I had a very good, solid routine going on. I had my 9 to 5 job, I had my 3 nights a week to go to the gym, and I had my, weekend basketball. And it was really good. Everything seemed to be going along at a nice pace. I had no stress, nothing, particularly upsetting going on in my life. And so eventually, I have a decision to make whether or not I want to keep, the status quo going or seek a new challenge, find something new, try to, reignite a fire towards, achieving more. Because, once you achieve one goal, you kind of, move past that and want to achieve another. So as I was, trying to do something else, to try to challenge myself, I found myself falling into old habits, right? Growing up, you guys might already know this, I had very incredibly low self-esteem. I didn't feel particularly good about myself, and I felt like I couldn't do anything right. So as I started to do, new things, new endeavors, I started to feel these feelings bubbling up again, feel worse. I started to feel pain. I started to feel disappointment. I started to feel bad about myself again. And it seemed really stupid, right, to me, why would I do such a thing? Why would I do things that bring me emotional and, psychological harm? It just doesn't make any sense. And so I really had to take some time to think about it, to meditate on it, and to absorb the situation. And so I came up with this vlog where I wanted to talk about redefining success and failure. And so in this vlog, I want to cover 3 major points. And I'm going to lay them out just so you know where I'm going with this. So the 3 points, the first point is, number 1 is being courageous. Number 2 is failure and experience. And number 3 is entitlement. Now the first point is being courageous. Now, what does that mean? That doesn't mean, be really unreasonable, be really stupid, and just do a lot of dumb things. Being courageous means doing something that you don't know what the outcome of it will be. You don't know if you're going to succeed, you don't know if you're going to fail, or whatever you want to call it, right? We don't know what it is, but it scares us. We're afraid of it because no matter how we try to think about it in our lives, whether other people tell us or we tell ourselves, we'll always have doubt. We'll always believe that we are incapable of achieving or doing something, right? So what we have to find is courage. We need courage to do something that scares us. And the more we do this, the more the doubt, doesn't play a factor anymore. Because we build courage, right? We build it through continuous doing of things that scare us. And when we continue to do things in this way, we become stronger. Think about this. Think about how birds are taught to fly, right? If they don't, learn how to fly, they become so dependent on the mother to bring them food, right? And they can't survive like that. They can't live in the nest their whole life. So the mother bird challenges them by moving away, right, from the nest. And the baby bird has to step outside of it, right? It has to, challenge itself. And who knows, it could hit the ground, right? It could just slap and hit the ground and boom, right? Injured, whatever, right? But the more the bird continues to do it, the more the bird continues to leave the nest, right? It eventually builds the muscle, right? It builds the muscle through repeated, flapping, whatever, and it grows stronger until it learns, until it's able to fly, right? And you need that courage, right? Because it's scary. Don't get me wrong, it's scary. You're a bird, you're up like 30, 40, 50, whatever feet in the air, right? And you just jump off and you could hit the ground, right? But it's that repeated training that allows us to fly. And so this leads me into my second point, which is about failure and experience. So we're talking about redefining success and redefining failure. I think most of us understand the concept of failure as a stepping stone to something more. But I don't think, while we understand the concept, we don't really take it in. Because when we're in the midst of failure, that seems to be all we can focus on. We focus on the bad feelings and we make a judgment call on it. We say failure is negative. We look at it in such a bad way, like, oh no, this is horrible, I feel so bad, there's so many things going wrong, and we don't focus on where the growth is, where the learning experience is. We tend to focus so much on this arbitrary view of success, right? Like if let's say this goal was to make $1 million, right? You grind day in, day out, blood, sweat, and tears, but you never, have $1 million in your hand, right? Does that make it a failure? I don't think so, right? Because think about all the action that you took, all the experience that you gained, right? Now that you've become a stronger person, right? That is the success. Right? Because all we have in our life is experience. Everything else can go. Your house, your car, your money, everything else can go. All we are is a culmination of all of our life's experiences. And really, you have to understand that you can never truly appreciate the end goal, the end success, without failure, because there's always two sides of the coin. And that kind of leads me into my third point, which is about entitlement. Dreams don't happen on their own. It's supposed to be hard. I can't think of any successful person who didn't dream big, who didn't have wild aspirations. Because when you have these big dreams, you continue to strive, you continue to want more. In the information age that we live today, entitlement is such an interesting phenomenon. Because knowledge is so readily available to us, at the click of a button, at the press of our phone, whatever the case may be, a lot of us feel like we deserve something, that we are owed something, and that things should happen right away. We're so used to this idea of instant gratification. And I really had to tell myself this, that the world doesn't owe you a damn thing. The world doesn't owe you a damn thing. What have you done for the world other than eat its food, drink its water, and breathe its air? We take so much. We take so much from other people, and we expect that the world should just continue to give to us without us doing anything in return. When I listen to people and I hear them say, oh, that must be nice, like he's so successful, blah, blah, blah. Or, that's too much, or that's way out of my realm of comfort, or, that's a scam, or it didn't work for me, it doesn't work for anybody else. You know what that's really telling me? That's telling me that they thought it was gonna be easy. That's telling me that they thought it was an overnight thing. That if they just join the thing, magically things will happen It will just appear. They'll be successful overnight. And what a flawed expectation that we have, that people can become overnight successes, because that's simply not true. And you know, that's why so many people want to win the lottery. They want money for nothing, for doing absolutely nothing. And when you think about it, how many stories have there been of people who have won the lottery and have gone completely bankrupt and ruined their lives as a result? You know why? Because they didn't work for it. So therefore they don't appreciate it, right? They never had to struggle for it, and they don't really they take it for granted. And like, how many times do you hear people say, oh, I wish I could go on vacation, and you just sit there, oh, it must be nice, but they really don't do anything about it. Let me tell you a simple truth. You are supposed to struggle. You are supposed to face roadblocks. You are supposed to have difficulties, because that's just how life is. But this is not a negative. Roadblocks aren't there to keep you down. They're there to make you stronger, to find ways that you can grow. Because when you have these experiences, you notice things about yourself. If you really think about it, if you were to succeed at every single thing that you did in your life, would you ever learn anything? You know, so many people are content to live, you know, a life of content, mediocrity, because they're so afraid of making mistakes. And yet, these mistakes, these so-called failures, is what turns us into better people, into better versions of ourselves, and it helps us to learn, and it helps us to grow. So to summarize, remember that, you know, we have to be courageous. We have to do the thing that we are afraid of, regardless of the circumstances that we face, the drama in our lives. We have to do the thing. We have to be courageous. The other thing is that we have to understand there's really no such thing as a bad failure, right? Because it is an experience that we can grow from. And the third thing is that we need to get rid of our entitlement mentality. Everything is earned, right? And like I said before, you know, we appreciate the journey, we appreciate the end more when we go through it and we struggle, right? When we look back, you know, we can look back with, you know, proud eyes, knowing that where we came from and where we are now is a result of never giving up. And that's the message I really want to get through. I mean, everyone always says it's easier said than done, but we all have this iron will, and sometimes we just gotta really dig deep. Never give up. Peace and love.